clearly a chance to get one back that you went down there. Much easier to get a team's attention when you've already lost to somebody on the road the first time?
The seasons are really a marathon, so there's a lot of different ways to get your team's attention. And, when you guys are a veteran group like this, I think different things, you learn about your team, different things get their attention. I certainly think there's an unbelievable respect, obviously, for Memphis. Certainly was the first game. And, I think we're a different team now than we were then. I'm sure they are as well. So I think there's a number of things that factor into that.
With the UConn game, I know you want to win every game, but do you look at it as like good losses, or a loss to this team hurts less than maybe a loss to another team? Do you look at things that way?
Well, no. Every loss stings. I just felt like in the UConn game, I thought they beat us first and foremost. I thought they played better than us, but I also thought we had a ton of opportunities that we just squandered, and that's kind of what kept me up at night. Was that so? It's part of the it's 30 plus games. You go through different rides, and to take them to overtime the way we did, and they were a team that's been playing everybody close and had won some games here lately with that. So I just felt like we had some missed opportunities.
Knowing it's a Q1 loss on the road doesn't make it hurt any less, I'm guessing.
No, because then you just look at it as another missed opportunity to gain a little more momentum in that realm.
Where has your team grown since that first Memphis game, you think, that will maybe provide you a better opportunity for a win this time around?
I think we've just as a group, I think we've grown offensively for sure. We scored 49 points there last season. That's not to say we will be any better this Thursday, but I think we've grown in that area. I think we've grown in guys' roles and understanding of the roles. I think we've grown in terms of our rotation. Putting guys in the right spots at the right times in games. I'd like to say we've grown defensively, but we haven't done that the last two games. Kind of take a step backwards defensively and not in defensive rebounding wise. So we've got to correct that this week.
How much does it push you guys as coaches when you catch a team a second time this late in the season in terms of your scout and your preparation to get ready for like a rematch?
Every game's a challenge. It brings its own challenges. UConn's challenge was we were on the road the whole time, so we had to go a short turnaround for us to try to get a game plan put in. The games come at you quick and really fast in basketball. You play twice a week, and you have tape of the game you played, and then you got to find out how that team's changed. So the challenges playing them the second time are probably just as good, just as great, if not greater. I think it's the third and fourth time if you ever play a team like that it becomes a little bit more chess match type. It becomes. I joked around the other day, I'd love to do an NBA playoff where you're just going back and forth against the same team. To me, that would be fun. You don't get that opportunity in college.
You talked about the bench after that first Memphis loss and how at one point you had to go to them and just couldn't kind of hang with Memphis. Mamadou played 5 minutes of that game. Zach didn't even play. Both those guys seem to obviously made big strides. Even going against a really athletic team like Houston since then, does that give you more confidence?
Yeah, those guys are part of the rotation. They're part of what we do. Each guy, coaches included, have to step up this time of year. Everybody's got to do their job. So I think those guys know what their job is. And I think before you can have accountability, you got to have clarity. They have clarity of what they're supposed to do.
As an observer of these games from the sideline, I can say that the officiating seems to be frustrating as far as consistency from game to game. What changes have you seen from your perch the officiating in this league?
Yeah, I've gotten that question a lot lately. I think those guys, we've got really good officials in this league. I think they're held accountable. I think all those things. I think for us right now, I just feel like, there's a physicality that's going on with Jaren on the ball and Chris down low that kind of being missed a little bit right now. And, I'd like that to be cleaned up. And, I've said it before, I guess with my staff and stuff, I'm not one to throw a fit on the sideline or make a big deal. I'm going to talk to the officials. I struggle if the guy across from me is getting calls because they're being more animated than I am. That's where you'll see me most upset. So I just want to make sure it's fair all the way around. That's my thing.
Do you go back and watch tape of all the calls from each game?
I go watch everything, and then what we can do is we can send them into the league.
Right.
Mark Whitehead does a phenomenal job with that. He looks at them, and they, again, the accountability piece is there. Those guys do a good job of communicating with us, so I've got no issues with that.
Yeah, but does that help maybe show the guys, like, this is how they're gonna call this, or how they're supposed to call this, or?
Well, one thing I don't do is, I don't use any excuses, so we don't, whether it's travel or officiating. The bottom line is, there's enough possessions in the game for us to control the outcome. And when we live in that and take ownership in that, then we'll be as successful as we're capable of being. And that's what I try to taught, that's why I do every press conference after a loss. And that we try to show in our program that we're going to be consistent in everything we do, win or lose. And I think our guys are catching on to that. I can't control what you guys write or what the fans talk about and things like that.
Jaren,
It's not,
good.
not a basketball question, but
Great.
with the last couple days, just everything going on with Coach Fickle, I know he's involved in your interview process, and you guys seem to have a good relationship. How good is that just for this athletic department?
No, it's phenomenal. I came here because of Luke, and Luke stayed because of me. That really helped, man. No, it's great that it's great that he's staying. When I say value driven, to the top. I mean, he runs his program the way any president, athletic director, or parent would want their coach running a program. And it's been a great resource for me, and a genuine guy who wins at a high level. So we're awfully excited to have him and his family still here.
He's talked about, he wants you guys to be successful because the football program can use the energy and the hype in terms of recruiting and everything else. I mean, is it feeling mutual for you?
It goes both ways, yeah. When I was at Alabama, we talked about that, consistently. There's a lot of crossover between football and basketball players.
Yeah.
I always say football players want to play basketball because it's easier to pick a basketball game than to pick a football game. So a lot of the recruiting, I watch guys in the NFL now, and I'm like, yeah, I did a visit with that kid because football asked us to. We just go back and forth and those kind of things. So their success in being in the top 25 and our success in being a program that's right there and fighting for NCAA tournament is great for everybody because it gets the Cincinnati brand out to national.
Sounds like Jaren got banged up at the end of the Wichita game. Obviously, there's a quick turnaround for UConn. How's he feeling?
We're banged up. Yeah, he's not the only one. He's banged up. Keith Williams is banged up. Jaden Cumberland is questionable right now because he came down on the photographer's foot. And Keith Williams is banged up. So I always meet with our training staff after I do this before practice. I don't know how many guys will have for practice today.
Anything else?